Hi, I am Jules. What is your name?
My name's Jennifer Ellis with TA French.
Awesome. So, what exactly is your role with TA French?
So my role with TA French is I am a custom home specialist. What I will do is I facilitate with the client, um, really just to get information from them so I know how to direct them through the whole process. So I will be with them through the plan design, and as well, I will have a nice handoff with the interior designer as well as the superintendent.
Okay, nice, awesome. It seems like you're well situated into the process. So, first question for you is, what mistakes do buyers most tend to make when coming to you? So, new clients coming, what mistakes do they seem to make most often?
I would say the maybe the biggest, it's not necessarily a mistake, but it's a misperception,
Okay.
um, that this process is just really stressful. We here at
Mm,
TA French really try to make this process as smooth and fun as possible. So we're really there along the way, guiding them through that process on the front end and on the back end. So I think it's more of a misperception than it
mm.
is a mistake, maybe.
Wow, that's good. I like that. I like
Yeah.
that. So you said that you guys try to make it as smooth as possible.
Mhm.
So do you guys have any systems or anything like what helps make the client have the least amount of headache as possible? What do you guys do?
Yeah, so I think the least amount of headache possible comes with just communication, just making sure that we have a really great idea of what the client is visualizing for their home. Also, we want to make sure that their budget aligns
Mm,
with that visual. And we're here to help with that process and make sure everything kind of merges together. So we're very big into the discovery process. TA French does have a design and discovery um, packet
oh,
that we
nice.
that we give to our clients, and it's we go over several questions: how they live, what their vision is, and just simply what they like. So Pinterest, house, all that kind of good stuff. So we
Right.
really have those good conversations on the front end to have good communication.
That's awesome. Okay. So say I'm a client
Hmm.
coming to you all. I want to build my beautiful dream home, right?
Okay.
Can you take me through the steps from start to finish? What does that look like?
Sure. So from start to finish, what happens is we first want to make sure that you have a piece of property. The first and thing that we're going to do is say, okay, what kind of property do you have and what kind of vision you have, and we're going to try to merge that.
Mm,
So meaning, whatever shape your lot, we'll take advantage of the views and all that kind of good stuff. So first things first is usually, most folks come in with a piece of property. We will go ahead and have that surveyed. We'll get with a plan designer and really work around the property itself to make sure it's really individualized and
mm,
really custom to that piece of property. From that point, we really get a good idea of what you're wanting in the home itself. Again, with the visuals, with the worksheet that we do to just see how you live. We sync you up with that plan designer. We'll go through. We'll
mm,
we'll sit through several meetings to really make sure that we're all on the same page.
mm.
And we try to reverse engineer the cost with the planning portion, and that's really important on the front end because at the end of the day, we don't want surprises during the build. Um, from that planning portion, we have a really good idea of also what the interior design is going to be like. So I get with one of my two amazing interior designers at Shown Interiors, and we'll
I
sit
know
down
one.
and we'll talk through what they're visualizing on that plan too. So that way, when we go into pricing, all of those factors have been considered.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome. It sounds extensive, but well taken care of. I
it
love that.
is.
So,
Mhm.
why TA French?
I think at TA French, there are several reasons why. And I think one of the biggest ones is we just have integrity.
Mm,
Especially with a lot of builders nowadays, you want to make sure that your builder just has integrity and just does the right thing. That is why I'm actually here at TA French is I want to work for someone who does right by others as well.
mm,
I think that's the foremost, the biggest thing. And then secondly, our process, we have ironed out our process really well. And everything is transparent. There's great communication. And we just work with some amazing plan designers, interior designers, vendors, our trades. We just have a really great team of people to work with just to make people's dreams come to life without that stress and angst of of what people think going through this process is like. So
That's awesome. That's
yeah.
awesome. I am big on integrity, so I love
Hmm.
that. In the Air Force, they say integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do. So I'm big on
I love
integrity.
that. Yeah.
So this kind of piggybacking off of that.
Yeah.
This is my final question for you
Okay.
is, if you had to give me 3 words and 3 words only to describe TA French, what would they be?
Wow. Family,
Mm,
integrity, and craftsmanship.
okay. Okay. That was a mic drop. That's awesome. Okay, that's good. Nice.
Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
So now for the final portion, we're gonna grab some rapid fire questions. Are you
Okay.
ready?
All
Okay.
right.
Let's do it. These I actually have to look at them. So,
Okay.
okay. Okay. First is, what is an upgrade worth the money every time?
What is the upgrade? I would say, honestly, aside from the build, I think that the property that you cannot replace property. So I think one of the biggest things is just make sure that you get the property that you want because we can't change that. Other than that, the upgrades worth the cost is we really don't consider it an upgrade. We consider it just what our clients are wanting.
Mm,
And I think anything that makes that home custom that really is important to them, let's get it done.
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. When is the best time to lock in pricing?
Well, I don't know if there's necessarily an answer for that. However, what I would say is the way that our structure works is that pricing is all transparent on the front end before we even turn any dirt. You're going to have all of that information on the front end once you sign that contract. We get with our vendors to make sure that pricing stays there. So I think that the way that we do our process, you're going to have all that information on the front end, so we can get those prices locked in before you even start building. Because the last thing you want to do is start building and then still continue to have things that you need to pick out and et cetera. Because we're already building, so there's no turning back on that. So we just want to make sure everyone's happy and excited on the front end and okay with their budget.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Final one. Biggest budget mistake that buyers make.
The biggest budget mistake, I think, would actually surprise you. I think that the biggest budget mistake is sometimes when people pass up what they really, really want in their custom
Wow,
house.
that's a different
Yeah,
okay.
so I think that's probably one of the biggest budget mistakes because the way that we do our process, we're able to look at all of the pieces. So if you really want that amazing range with the red buttons, let's do it. And let's try to engineer something else in the house cost-wise that still has the same craftsmanship and the same look, but it'll kind of, get that money towards the stove that you want. So just little things like that. This is people's custom homes. Sometimes they're forever home. So make sure that you get really what you're loving out there.
That's
So,
awesome. Well,
yeah.
thank you so
You're
much for your
welcome.
time. This is great. Thank you.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. Thank you so
You killed
much.
it. No, you killed it. Thank you. I hope you all have enjoyed today's video. If you are interested at all in reaching out to TA French or Shun Interiors, all the information will be at the bottom of the video. Until next time, have a blessed day.